all Shardvixen. So, today is, I have to look, because I am not smart enough to remember the days. Actually, I used to remember the days a lot more, and dates. I know it's Saturday. All my vlogs are Saturday, so, and you get a nice look at my beautiful hair today. Today is the 14th of October, and the title of the vlog is Attraction. Now, it's about what I'm attracted to in people, in men. And I hear my grandson coming down, so you may get him in it too. But I wanted to show you first, this morning, I hurt myself. Look at that. It's not that bad now, but it's got a raised bump to it. It's very bruisey around that. But the worst part is that it caught me, and I kept going and twisted my shoulder. So now I can only lift my shoulder if I use my other arm. So it won't be a lot of hand talking. And then my face is really bad, as you can see. What little bits I show you guys. I'd just rather be the fox, actually. Okay, so Boo Boy came down the stairs, and we had this long conversation. He wants me to finish his Boba Fett. I'm sorry for the light that pops in here. He wants me to finish his Boba Fett mask so he can do a vlog with me. Because no one can be on here unless they have a mask. Not because we don't trust you, it's just that we like to show our inner selves, the true us. Alright, so, attraction. I was thinking about this last night, about what I wanted to say. And, I wanted to talk about what I find attracting. So, first of all, you should never love somebody by the way they look. Okay, that should not be the only reason you date someone, you go out with somebody, whatever, is because how they look. And that they have to maintain that look for you. And then that look to you has this set standard. That's not very, I don't like it. I want to try to get away from that. A lot of people do that and then are very disappointed in their relationships over and over and over again because they don't realize that they are looking at the outside of people rather than the inside of people. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I don't care if that's what you think you should do, but I personally, and if I talk to my kids about it, that's what we talk about, is that it's not just the outside. But human beings are attracted to each other at first by how they look, and then within a split second how that person makes them feel without even knowing them. So you'll see somebody from across the room and you'll be like, wow, that person really looks good. And then the next thing is, I need to get closer. And then you get closer to that person, or you could already be standing next to him and that person just makes you feel all okay? And then sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. And the reason it doesn't work out, of course, is because there's only that first instant that's there. And that feeling that you get clicks your brain into doing, setting out the happy feeling chemicals. And then the happy feeling chemicals make you feel good, like when you eat chocolate or drink soda or ski down a mountainside or fly, you know, with no, with just those weird little wing things they put on. It's just the brain chemistry thing. Now, some of you are going to argue that about love, but it is typically a brain chemistry thing that you then program into your brain and how you feel. Okay, so attraction is what is what brings people in or pushes people away. I don't have much attraction apparently to others. So since I was, oh, there's a big old spider on my wall. Nope, there they went, under a poster. Can't tell my kids, they'll freak out. I'll have to kind of watch it. That was a tangent. Sorry, it was big. It was about this big. Crawling on my wall. Shh. I don't have spider phobia unless they're on my face. And I'm not real. And I've had spiders on my face and it kind of freaks you out because you like doing this and can't get rid of them. Attraction, not spiders for me. Well, at first when I was little, it was just boys. I was attracted to boys. I liked boys. I wanted boys. Well, I wanted other people like me too, but I really wanted boys like me. There's that spider again. Sorry, guys. It's cruising. I'm going to have to pause this. Okay, it's gone. I killed it. Now nobody will come in the house, down here and freak out. So I was just attracted to boys. I know people talk about being attracted or curious about girls. I was never attracted or curious to girls. I didn't really like girls, actually. Not because I wanted to be a boy, I just never really liked girls. I didn't trust them much. I mean, there was only one female in my life I trusted, and it was my grandma. So Older people, maybe I liked. I don't know. I don't really like people in general. You have to be somebody that is nice to me for me to like you. I don't dislike you in general. I just don't care one way or another until we, communicate together. Like in the Geknip Gang, people communicate, and then you form a basis of a relationship that is still an internet relationship, but information is passed so that you get to know that person better. So, anyway, so my attraction was always to boys. And for a long time, it was to boys that didn't like me. Don't ask me. I think maybe because it's like how most people are. They kind of like that idea of someone who's considered the forbidden dude or girl liking you. So that's where as children, it's where our packages, ignore me while I rub my face. It's those packages we create. We create packages. So we look at somebody and we are hoping they carry the package that we like. I have a package. Everyone has a package. There's these traits that we look for in people, and then there's traits we don't want, but we're willing to compromise on, and then there's the absolute traits we don't want at all. So, interesting enough, when I turned around, like I said, about 15, 16 years old, my idea of the type of dude I liked, even though I'd have to say probably early on I liked the kind of the outlaw kind of person, the loner. Not the outlaw so much, but like the loner. The person that felt like no one could love them. I always wanted to let them know that I could love them because I could look beyond those traits that other people didn't like. Don't ask. It's just a thing about me as a child, and then became that way as an adult, and then still that way about me as an adult. So my attraction to people have always been based on I'm a very tactile, sensory person. So it's those things like sight and hearing and sorry, here I go again, and touch, and just the whole compartment of people of an attraction. Now, when you're thinking about yourself, you got to think about, are you a tactile person? Are you a sensory person? Because not everybody is. For some people, the idea, their package is a good-looking, average-looking man, what the rest of society thinks is good, or movie star style, and is financially set, has average intelligence, is just base of the road kind of person. And then there's, of course, your fantasy person, but I'm not talking about your fantasy person here. I'm not talking about the person that you might fantasize about liking you or not liking you. That's not what that's about, because that's a whole different thing, and I might talk about that too. I don't know. That's a really inner deep thing, because when you talk about fantasy attraction, there's really good and really bad stuff wrapped up in that, and it opens up parts of your soul. So I'm not sure I want to go there right now, at least not in this vlog. Maybe down the road, I don't know. I always think of new vlogs as I'm doing vlogs, so maybe that will be something I do. Anyway, so I was reading, like I said, a Spider-Man comic book. I always was attracted to superhero kind of loner people. Lobo was another one that kind of got me. And there, behold, was Logan, at the time, just called Logan, Wolverine. And something about him just like, if I could meet that person in real life, I was sure that would be my person. So from then on, my idea of attraction was based on that. Low voice, deep, deep low voice, like really guttural, deep voice. Some of the people, and everybody hears people different, but I can give you the ones that affect me that way. Jason Momoa has a really deep voice, especially when he played Conan. So he probably dropped his voice now more, because actors do that. Sometimes they drop and things. So the voice that you hear is not necessarily their voice, but the voice he did in Conan and the voice he did in Stargate. Who's another one that has a really deep voice? Sam Elliott. Sometimes his voice hits that deep roll of voice. Just talk to me. I'd be fine if you just talk to me. Steve Bloom, who is a voice actor who has done Wolverine in the X-Men cartoons. He's another one. If I could get the little bot that talks to you on PlayStation, on your chats, in his voice, I'd be like, yeah. Okay, I like dark-haired people with dark hair, like black hair, blue eyes, dark hair. I like the color combination thing. Skin has never been an issue for me. I have to say, though, most of the people that I've met in my life were white, who were attracted to me. I was attracted. I have dated other nationalities and races. I just find that in the end, I end up with hairy white men. It is what it is. They might have like Hispanic in them, or Portuguese and Italian is another one that seems, but I think it's because the Italians and some of the Portuguese tend to be a lot hairier than some of the other. Greeks are another one, people from Greece. And people always say, oh, there's too much hair. I don't know. I mean, if I liked the guy, it wouldn't matter how much hair. If they would look like Chewbacca, I'd probably be fine with it. It wouldn't bother me at all. Caveman style, so okay. I like big hands. I was thinking about this last night. I like big hands. Big hands are one of those things I look at. People are always like, you look at the butt. No, I look at hands. Or, I love it, you look at their penis. I don't know. You can't really see their penis unless I flip it out. And I have to tell you, on far, besides length and color, and penises don't change much. I mean, there's a tip to them, and that's it. They could have a foreskin or no foreskin. Color is probably, you're going to get color and maybe, like I said, size or length. But other than that, penises are kind of like ears. They look the same as in the format of things. So no, I don't look for a person based on their penis. I have had friends that do that. They look at one of the package things that they are attracted to is how big a penis is or how small penis is, because there's advantages to small penises as well, which there is no such thing as a really small penis. Here's a tangent. Because if the penis was too small to get inside the vagina, you'd have no babies. So there are no such things as small penises. So all you people out there who are worried about your penis being too small, stop worrying. It's fine. If it can get inside the vagina, you're good. In fact, there's a guy who studied that and said it probably died out a long time ago. It'd be a mutation every once in a while, and it would never pass on, see? Because that's how chromosomes and genes are. Alright, let's get back to what attracts me. Not penises, of course. Well, but people who have penises, I guess. I don't know. I might date somebody that was transgender that didn't have a penis if they looked like my package. If they were, you know, like a Wolverine incarnate, I'd probably be perfectly fine if they had a vagina instead of a penis. I'm sure there's things we get around. I don't know. I haven't done it, so can't say. Let's see. So, for me, for that brief instant when you meet somebody, you see somebody, or you say, oh, that guy is so beautiful. It's, they don't have to have hair, believe it or not. You'd be bald, doesn't bother me. I find hairy men tend to be bald, so. So, like I was saying, sometimes bald men are the hairiest men you ever meet. But then, so here's the thing. So, I have this package. Tall, big men, or short men don't bother me. I like short men, actually, only because, again, they kind of remind me of Wolverine. But hairy is probably on the top of the list, and height, I don't care. And hands are probably higher on the list, and I don't care about feet. I like the feet to be a little bigger. I don't like goblin toes, hobbit toes. Hobbit toes are like goblin toes. I don't. Hobbit toes are the hairy ones. I can handle them. Goblet toes are those ones where even if they try to take care of their toenails, they still look like they're like cat things coming out at you. And no matter how much they work at it, it just doesn't work. But you might overlook people. If they had everything else in the package, I could probably pass on the goblin. I could probably say the goblin feet were good. Does this make me shallow? No, because shallow means technically that I only would go out with a person based on how they look. Okay, and that has never been my thing ever since I've been able to date. I was about, I want to say 17, 18 years old. I might have been older. And I was at a bar. And this guy was sitting next to me. looking out at the girls dancing and doing things. I was there with 3 friends. A couple of them were really nice looking women. And they came up and talked to me, and then they left. And he's like, leans over and he goes, women like that never see me. I've never been able to go out with a pretty woman. So I looked at him and I said, do you think I'm pretty? And he's like, oh yeah, you're pretty. You're not as, you know. Then he goes into this thing where he's putting his foot in his mouth, and I kind of like, I said, well, I'd go out with you. And he's like, no, you wouldn't. I said, sure, let's go out on a date. You pick the place and the time. I'll meet you there, and we can go out on a date. And he's like, jaw drops, looks at me and says, okay, you know, I've never, you know, I'll do a great date. It'll be a wonderful date. So we exchanged phone numbers, and it was before cell phones. And so he gave me a call about a week later and says, hey, you remember me? I was at the bar, and he was afraid I was going to tell him no. And I said, sure, I remember you. We're going to go out. We're going to go out and have fun. Just go out and, you know, whatever. And he's like, yeah, I got this perfect date. So he picks me up. He takes me out to dinner. We go down to the river, because I live in a city that was by the river, and it was real pretty when the lights came out, and you could go walking on the river. And we're walking on the river, and he's like, you know, I've never had sex with a pretty woman. And I was like, well, I'm not really into having sex with you, dude. And he's like, you're like all those other women. And then he started that tangent about how horrible women were, and how they all say they want a nice guy, and they can't get a nice guy. And he just went on, and I finally waited till he was done, and I said, if that's what you think, you're not a nice guy. Okay, and it's not about being a nice guy. It's not about being the bad guy. It's not about being the evil, rotten person, even though it sometimes seems like those beautiful people are going out with those really... But a lot of beautiful people are not very friendly to other people, because we have this status quo in our society. We have classes. We have ideas that somehow, if you're really, really smart, you're a great person. If you're really, really beautiful, you're a great person. If you're really, really rich, you're a great person. Even though we know, most of us, not all of us, but even though we know deep down inside that's not so, that's what's slammed at us through the media. Most of the men I have dated in my life, other people have asked me, you know, what'd you see in them? And most of them I said, well, they're pretty hairy. And they're like, that's it. I'll date somebody that doesn't have a job. I'll date somebody that has a job. I'll date somebody who's going to school. I date people that dream, people that create, people that want to do things with their lives. The thing is that most of the time the people that I date have issues, and then can't deal with my own issues. And there's a saw going in the background, and I'm sorry, so I'm trying to talk louder. And I'm almost done with the vlog, so I can't get that saw out of there. I'm sorry. Just one of those days today. So I myself am not shallow, because when I meet a person, the first thing I want to do is get to know that person. I don't want to go out with them because they look like my ideal. I'll have sex with them. That's a whole different thing. That is not getting to know someone and being with that person. I won't have sex with just because somebody calls me up and says have sex with me, or let me send you dick pics. It's not that kind of thing for me. I don't date much now. I haven't dated in, it's probably been about 5 or 6 years since the last time I've been on a date. Well, no, that's not true. When I moved to Oregon, I went on a date. That didn't go out well. Didn't go over well. We didn't really click. There was no clicking. There has to be a click. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what you do. If there's no click, I'm not interested. I have been approached by men when I was younger. I know you can't tell it now. So I'm sure you look at me and think, oh, she's not someone I want to go out with. But I have in the past met men who were very, very, considered to be very handsome and very well off and a lot of other things. And the only reason they wanted to go out with me is because I had the body type at that time that fit their... They didn't even want to get to know me, because some of them would be like, you know, we need to dress you better. We need to do something about your hair. We need to do this, or we need to do that, or let me help you. And that was before my face started to have problems, and I could wear makeup, and I have pictures of it if you want to see. I don't care if you believe me or not, because a lot of people say you could have never been that beautiful. I'm a very beautiful person. I still think I'm a beautiful person. I am a beautiful fox, and I think that too. But I have had people approach me and say, I'd like to go out with you. Would you want to go out? And the way they acted was like I was going to say yes. So I'd always say no. No, I don't want to. And then they'd get mad. Why not? Because they didn't understand why nobody would want to go out with them. And I just say, because you're just too cocky for me. Not nice. And they couldn't get it. They didn't understand. And then they got mean. They got as mean as the ones that were mad because pretty girls don't go out with, ugly guys. So here's the thing. You're looking for somebody. Try to look for somebody that's a whole package. And make it a realistic package. For me, I do it all the time. I look for this, and if it's not there and it doesn't click, and even if it was there and it don't click, sometimes it's like, let's have sex, and that's the end of it. Oh no, Grammy has sex. Well, I haven't had sex in a while, so you can all be happy about that. Anyway, this is it. That's the end of this particular, but here's the thing. After you turn 50, and I'm sure after you turn 60, and I'm positively sure after you turn 100, you'd like to have sex. It just gets a little harder to meet people to have sex with, and it gets a little harder to meet people to want to spend time with, because they're carrying a baggage behind them of the packages that didn't work out for them. All right, this one went a little long, but it was kind of fun and important to me, and I'll catch you all on the flip side, and I'm out of here.